out of space. Now, this movie, oh man, where do I even begin? So it's an adaptation of an H.P. Lovecraft short story, which, if you're familiar with that guy's body of work, should already tell you what kind of a ride you're in for. Directed by Richard Stanley, who is the director of the 90s version of Apocalypse Now. Ironic enough that both those movies starred Marlon Brando, which is The Island of Dr. Moreau. And this movie, which centers around a family living on an isolated farm that becomes inextricably conflicted when a comet lands on their property and these strange mystical energies start infecting the natural plant and animal life. The best way that I can describe this movie is that it's basically a twisted version of The Thing, almost if you were on acid. It's ultimately, I think, more like a Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas situation, where you're only really gonna like it if you're in for that type of a trip, because this movie is a nightmare at certain points, but it is very compelling because the whole movie has this very ethereal tone. It's very out there. It does like the movie. It's funny. The movie is about a family that has excommunicated themselves from society, and the movie kind of almost has this weird tone that kind of emanates that. Nick Cage, it's a little bit of a 50-50 thing because Nicolas Cage in this movie is both at his most Nicolas Cage's and his least, because he is still like playing that subtle wacky weirdo, and when he has his outbursts, and oh, that they're just as entertaining as you would think. But the weird thing is that in the second half of this movie, the movie kind of focuses on Cage and kind of like how he himself is being affected more than like any of his other family members. And I can't help but wonder if that was just kind of an excuse for the director to get Nick Cage to do like as many ballsy out there acting choices as he could. It's almost like it was a trolling exercise. It's like, okay, Nick, we're gonna have you do exactly what you've done in the past, but go even crazier this time. And that's like what every director that works with Nicolas Cage now just tries to do, because that's just kind of the mantra that he's inspired for himself. I actually got to meet one of the stars of this movie because he competes in the Schmodown. I met him when they did a live event in New York, and I talked with him a little bit about this movie, and yeah. It's exactly what I said it was, and if you're in for that, great. If not, then this movie is not for you, because oh man, this movie is a nightmare at points.